Welcome back. Another edition of the Down and Back Cornhole podcast. A long time ago, I did not think I would ever say this, but this is the third anniversary show, and I'm here joined by, he's on that side, my good friend on that side, the voice, Donny McPhee, Donny, I'm going to say that I am the longest running, but you're kind of half there.
Listen, Doug, I'm halfway in. I'm still working on some concept. I'm still working on, some sponsor stuff because, as you know, doing what we do is not easy on the family or the wallet.
Not at all. Not at all.
But congratulations on 3 years.
Well, and that's the thing that you and Mr. Brendan there, you guys started the doghouse the same week. And I think you guys were almost a couple days ago here, but we started the same week. The brilliant idea came out at the same time.
Yeah, I think we got you by like 2 days. I think it was something like that.
Which that's fine. It's who lasts the longest, I guess we'll say. But no, but it's and you say it's hard on the family. It's hard on everyone because you guys were doing it with two people. I'm a lone wolf here, and it's trying to be to book the shows, to actually do the shows, the somewhat editing I do, just kind of putting stuff together, not doing any other editing than that, and then just promotion and everything else. It's almost like another full-time job.
That it is. I tell everybody I have 3 jobs. One is my real job that pays me. The next one is the family. And then this is the third job between, doing shows like this, doing kind of my own thing, doing my live videos, but also going out and playing and, meeting the people, Traveling is also very tough on the family and wallet, Took a little trip down to local living this weekend, and that's not cheap either. Me and my brother jumped in the RV. The good thing is the rental fee for the RV is very cheap because we just give my parents a couple $100 for just the use of it. But you're talking, it's a couple $100 gas down, couple $100 back, it adds up quickly. But the great thing is we've got some great friends out there that let us park right in their driveway, plug in, and start a little home away from home.
Well, exactly. That's the thing. We pick up so many friends in doing this. It's I know once the 3 years ago from when I started this to now, I think my friends on Facebook, I'm getting like 5 a day that I'm like, I have no idea who you are. Are you a fake person or are you a real person? And then you have to start looking at who's friends of friends and and that there, and it's just it's I don't want to say it's crazy being popular, but it's just crazy because you're not really popular.
Listen, I'm not that popular, but every time I go to one of these tournaments, getting home, I have to go back through my camera reel because I might have had 2, 3, 4, 5 adult beverages. So I have to go back as I get friend requests to go back and, see if that was somebody that was there that weekend, and do a little Facebook stalking. But I think coming out of this weekend, I think I'm up to 25 new friends out of this weekend.
Yeah. And the other thing for anyone else who wants to come and take pictures with us, please do it after 10 or 11 a.m. in the morning because like you just said, those nights are pretty rough. And then the morning is even rougher.
Well, speaking of that, Friday night down at Local Living, I had an ACO pro that was rocking my camper at 5 a.m. So a good friend, Jeremiah Ellis, and his buddies were still up, all banged up. They just finished playing cornhole, and they decided they were going to come mess with us to unplug the camper. One guy was on the roof looking for a hatch. I had to explain to him this is an RV, not a bus. There is no roof hatch. But yeah, it was pretty fun chasing those knuckleheads away, and they were still banged up. Next morning, they all looked very rough.
Yeah, well, that's the unfortunate part of cornhole is playing rough the next morning, but we all work through it.
We do. Listen, we gotta almost like puke and rally, right? Just keep going.
No, exactly. Yeah. So, talk about this being the 3 years, and kind of we'll kind of make this a little bit of an anniversary show for you as well too. What was your one memory of your 3 years? doing the show?
I think the biggest memory for me doing, the show for these last couple years was really, I don't know if it was actually a show. I think it was actually going out. I think the first time we went down to Rock Hill was actually one of the coolest times because we get to Rock Hill and everybody's there. It's kind of the who's who of cornhole. And as you're walking around, people are saying hello, people are, talking to you. So I think it's really the memory is, all of the great friendships and conversations I've been able to have through the years about this silly little beanbag game.
Well, exactly, and that was the thing that got me at the Open here was because that was the first chance I've had to go to any real big event other than just kind of our regular regionals or conferences here, where you get people that you still don't know or come up talking to you as if they've known you forever because they've watched a show or whatever. And I think that's what made me feel better is because you don't know how much of a voice you actually have in cornhole until people come and start talking to you. Because I'm trying to be not to take your moniker away, but just I'm trying to be the voice of the regular cornhole player in Canada. So if you see me put stuff on Facebook, it's stuff that people are coming to me about, and I'm just being their voice of some stuff. So it's just trying to help that the regular player have their voice heard as much as the pros.
Well, I think that the hard balance is part of all of this, and kind of something I've learned through the 3 years is sometimes you're a personality, sometimes you're just a voice, but other times you're also media/player advocate at the same time, right? We sometimes have to put stuff out there for other people
Mhm.
because they can't based on they run a league or they own a company or they do something else, right?
Yep.
They're a little more high profile if they say it, so it could have a little bit different meaning, a different weight. So by us saying it or us by us challenging what the organizations are doing, because I'm a little different than you. You kind of mainly ACL,
Yep.
right? You do all ACL because the ACO is really not up there for you. So I kind of have dabbled in both. Going out and hanging out in Vegas with them over the years and doing a couple different tournaments. But you know, to me, the game is fun, but at the same time, by us being out there and out in front, we kind of have a responsibility to
Mhm.
challenge some of the norms or what people do at different times at tournaments.
Yeah, and another thing, I actually had a really good long talk with Trey Ryder about this,
Who?
and yeah, that he does a little bit of stuff for the ACL, but just and he kind of said it perfectly is that if you don't have haters, then you're not doing something, then you're not doing it right. You're not being that voice of the people because people are going to be disagreeing with you. People are not going to want to associate with you or whatever. And you know what? For me, it's think what you want. I'm gonna say it. I've got what my opinions are. If you don't like my opinion, just go to somewhere else.
Listen, I get a lot of that. I have a lot of people that, anytime I post something, want to post right on top of it or, start to argue different points. I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm an almost 50-year-old man. I don't I have my own opinion. I'm gonna say what I want to say. And I've had those conversations with Trey. I've had those conversations with Stacy. I've talked with Frank Gears. So when I see something I don't agree with, I'm going to say something about it. Um, I'm gonna sometimes do it in maybe not a nice manner, but like I know certain people don't like when I think the term was called vague booking because sometimes it's more fun just to put something out there vaguely and
Mhm.
let people guess what it is. Because guess what? You don't have to lay all your cards on the table right as you post at 1 a.m. on Facebook.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's just the thing. It's you got to there's times where we have to put stuff out there. It's that thin line between just being a player in the game and also a bit of them on the media side, right? It's just and that's just what I get is when people come up to say to you, you're not talking about this person enough, or you don't talk about that person enough. Well, you know what? I talk about the people that do stuff, and
Well, the big thing
So,
too is like I heard a lot of people over the last year or two about like, well, you don't do bag reviews, or you only talk to certain people, or you talk to different organizations, and why would you do that? When we were doing the podcast full time, it was about cornhole, right?
mm,
Listen, we got a lot of bags sent to us, and I'm really not a bag review guy. I'm never gonna be that person. Listen, I can't tell you what a Surefire is made of. I can't tell you what a Titan bag is made of. I can't tell you what a local bag is made of. All I know is it's some cloth and resin inside. I'm not going to be that guy that is like, oh, this is the slow side of the Surefire and this is the quick. I don't have any inkling of ever wanting to do that. It's just not who I am. I like to talk about the game, the strategy, the rules. I love the rules. But, for me, it's about going out there and just reporting on what's happening or what you're seeing. And as you start to bring more personalities into this game, it's going to be very different, right? Because you have
mm,
people going after different things. Like, I necessarily don't ever want to be a pro.
no.
Probably could never be a pro with my game because I like to have too many adult beverages and hang out with the people. Um, I love to be competitive. If I tried harder, maybe I could, but for me, that's not what it's about. For me, it's about meeting people and hanging out, right? But there are people out there that are way more serious about it, and sometimes those people rub people like me the wrong way because they go about it the wrong way. It's not
Mhm.
about for me, it's about making friends, not strategic alliances.
Yes, yeah, and I always felt like when we all started up, because the Asp brothers started a few months after us. But I always thought when it was kind of just the three of us that were around with the doghouse, the Asps and myself, is that the Asp guys did their what you drinking and their bag reviews, right? You guys at the doghouse, you were kind of the bad boys of cornhole, and I was just the Kool-Aid drinker for the ACL up here in the north, right? And we all kind of, I don't want to say stayed in our lane, but we kind of stayed in our lane.
Well, but the one thing that people need to understand too is that we're all friends,
Yes, yeah.
right?
Well, no matter how much you think that we kind of shit on each other sometimes, we all still just kind of get together on Zoom and talk as well too.
Listen, it's like a family though. We can shit on each other, but somebody else does it and it's a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
But those were the fun days where we all did kind of collaborate, and not that we stayed in our lanes, but we all tried to balance each other too at the same time.
Hmm.
Where, we tried to make sure that guests were different each week so somebody wasn't putting out the same episode. We tried to even help each other out. If there was somebody that we couldn't talk to, maybe they could talk to, one of the other ones, right?
Yeah.
So it was it's was and still is a pretty big partnership in the background. I mean, I've literally talked to you more in the last 2 months than I've talked to my 2 old partners, with Brendan and Pat,
Mm.
because with so much going on, where, our text thread in, Messenger is, right now probably 5 times larger than, me talking to them 2, and it's nothing that's wrong or anything that's different. It's just we're all doing something different right now, right?
Yeah.
Pat's back to work, doing his regular day job. Brendan is Mr. Waffles. Brendan's kind of doing his thing at with the family. His kids are extremely busy right now with sports. 3 different kids in 3 different sports is a little tough. And then me, I'm still kind of traveling and doing some other stuff, and still kind of I still have both feet in the cornhole world where they both have kind of half foot still in.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the other thing with doing the shows. You talk about the kids doing stuff. It's like I've got a kid that's playing travel hockey up here, and right now trying to be not sure what's going on with the team that he's been on before. So now I'm trying to do this show, be his kind of quote unquote agent with possibly looking for a place for him to play or whatever, and then still like you said, regular job and another regular family stuff is just it's everyone's like, well, why don't you have a show out yet? Well, because I'm trying to do something else, or I've been sick the last week. Trying to do a show, then you're just done.
Yeah, I actually talked to you. I think it was Friday or Saturday. I don't remember because the days kind of blend together. And
I think it was Saturday morning.
You were out of it.
I was totally out of it. I think I look worse than you did, and you had been drinking all night.
Yeah, that was a bad night. I brought 60 beers with me, and I think I drank 80.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's cornhole math.
When you start running out, you just go into other people's coolers.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's kind of what you do, right?
That's right.
So, kind of what's in store for your show with, or were you with the direction you're going to go with the voice?
So there's a lot still building right now. I'm still talking to a lot of people in the background. I still have some old sponsors. I've got some new sponsors that I'm still talking to for this next season. It's going to be I'm coming back in full force. So as you can see, I bought a new microphone. I've got a new mixing board. I've got, all this new recording stuff if I want to take the show on the road with me, I can. I don't need to bring a computer. I don't need cameras. I can just record an audio podcast on this new board that I have. But this year, I believe I'm going to be also getting into some streaming. I've ordered some equipment for streaming. I'm going to, my first venture is going to be the Triple Crown in January. I'm going to be on the main court there doing some broadcasting. So if you're there, check me out. But I'm just going to start putting out some more content, just putting out a lot of stuff with Cornhole, talking about Cornhole, and, just keep trying to build my brand as I move forward.
Well, and that's the thing with this brand stuff is that, people try and put us down for different things, but our brands here are, we've both started, I think even the Ass Brothers too, is that we all kind of started with nothing, that we built our brand up. We didn't have to try and buy into a franchise with something or whatever. We kind of all started this right from the ground with what started with nothing. And we can say, we're not making anything on this here. We hope to at some point someday, but it's just, you can shit on us if you want, but this show isn't virtually costing me nothing to do. So there's really no place for me to go. So I'm just going to stick around.
Listen, my wife would just be happy if I broke even for the year.
Yes.
It didn't cost me anything to go play or to buy, new microphones and lighting and, rearrange the basement with electricians. And I think I'm on my third remodel of this space, and I still got some more room to go. Cause I, got to get rid of the insulation up in here.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got some new acoustic tiles coming, not really to soundproof it, but just to beautify it a little bit, kind of hide some of the plumbing from my house.
Yes, yeah, I'm kind of that way too here with this show. It'd be nice to be able to go and get somewhere where there's like a big, nice studio, but that's not happening.
Listen, I'd love to have like a cornhole palace that I could go to. They had a bunch of boards, but at the same time, a live broadcast court. But above it would be one of those like a skybox at a football game where, while people were playing, I could do a podcast and live stream games at the same time.
I think I almost used to have that, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, but that's the thing is that it's when we say buy a jersey, buy a shirt or whatever to help out the show is that 50 cents off each shirt that we're getting is kind of what kind of keeps us to get any new stuff or to even go to a tournament sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, just in the next 2 months too, my work picks up crazy because working in retail, kind of the holiday season, it gets really crazy. So my schedule kind of gets really full with work, and then add a couple kid stuff in there, some birthday parties, some family stuff. My dance card is pretty much full until January.
Well, I get that all the time too with our league. Is how can I go to league every night? Well, we all know I work in a hockey rink. We're now getting the winter. Kind of gets a little more busy at work.
Hey,
this time.
You're Canadian, your son plays hockey, and you work in a hockey.
Hey, it's the trifecta. No, but I'm even looking forward to changing some stuff up with the show this year. I've got a lot of stuff in the works. I know this year people have been bothering me to follow more of the pros. So this year, after each weekend, I will be doing a full wrap on how each one of the Canadian pros do at any of the national events, the PDC events, following along all those PDC players, just to show just how great they are doing down there in the PDC, because we've got a lot of great players coming out of Canada here, and I'm really pumped to see Connor Weiss playing in the pro division, because this is his first step into it. I wasn't able to say it on the show, but I did kind of tell him a few weeks before the qualifier. I was like, "You're my pick," and then he actually came through. So,
well, I hung out with his partner this weekend.
Yes, you did. Yes, Mr. Ryan Tucker, who will be a guest on the show. I'm not sure. Because Connor's gonna be coming on as well. So Ryan and Connor will be coming on, and I think it might be a Jay and Silent Bob edition, because I think that's kind of what I've heard. One of them likes to talk, one doesn't. So.
It's going to be exciting. I think this season's going to be fun to watch, especially where there's so many partner shakeups and so many people leaving one bag company to go to another bag company.
Yes.
I just some of the people that have already announced, like Bob Vaunch leaving Ultra to go to Reynolds. And I think the picture was the Carpet Burners, which is a completely different bag than he was throwing with Ultra.
Yep.
Right? You've got Duncan and Noah Almanza.
Yep.
Clemmer, Noah Almanza going to Ultra also. That could be a pretty scary pair, right?
Yep.
Damon Dennis.
Yes, that was good.
No longer throwing Game Changers.
Yeah.
How's he going to do his count when he flips the bag?
Yeah,
patch.
Exactly.
He might be odd or even. I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch, but there's been some shakeups, and I think some of them is going to be a win, some of them will be a lose based on what I'm seeing. But this season is going to be exciting when you really talk about it. And now bringing in a lot more, and no offense to you Canadians, I don't consider you international pros, because listen, we're still one continent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think we've already played enough and mixed in enough that I'm not sure we really are the international side. But
no, I still reserve that for like Europe, Australia, and all the rest of in Asia. I know it's really big in Japan right now, but it's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to see kind of who are those breakout players. It's also going to be fun to see if some of the players from last year can keep it up, right?
Yes.
Mark Richards is the big question mark. He had it.
Well, they are also moving bags as well too.
They left Gladiator
and going to Lucky Bags.
Lucky Bags. I mean, a little bit of a departure there. Some of the bags were semi-close, but I'll be interested to see what they're throwing. Are they throwing a Surefire, or what bag are they going to choose? But it's definitely going to have a much different vibe this year.
And for sure. The one I'm looking to see is just how there's a couple guys coming back after a year off, being Jordan Kamba coming back in and being part. When I first seen he was coming back in, and then Frank not having a partner, my first reaction was, well, they're going to go together. I just didn't say anything about it, but then they're partnering up. And then to see Timothy Pitcher back in, which I am so glad to see him back in the mix.
Oh, has he announced a partner yet, or is he still on the hunt?
He'll be partnering up with Matt Hoffman, who they've been friends for a while, but first time ever being a partner like this. So
nice.
We'll see how that works.
Have they picked a bag yet?
I'm not sure if they have or not.
Because what did Timmy used to throw? Was he?
He was an all cornhole guy.
He was an all cornhole guy.
But maybe hint, find out next week.
Oh,
as Mr. Pitcher will be coming back on the show, because he's got to keep up with Trey. He can't let Trey kind of get ahead of him in number of shows being on, because they're kind of neck and neck.
Who's winning?
I think Trey is right now.
Trey has the most?
Yes.
How many does Trey have?
Actually, I think you're maybe even kind of coming close.
I think I might be at this point.
Yeah.
I have
But
to.
yeah, I guess I don't know if we should say the other big announcement that could be happening, which would the kind of collaboration with some other people involved. Do we talk about that one now?
Listen. This is your show. You tell us where we're going.
Well, October 16th. Well, you get a chance. We're going to revive the Friday night Zoom calls, but it'll be the down and back voice on a Sunday night, maybe.
Yeah. So if anybody ever participated during COVID, we used to do. I had a Zoom login, and because nobody could get together, we used to do some drinking shows where I think there was one night it was me, Doug. Doug got introduced to Screech and Meacham and some other people from around the country.
I was going to say, I think I may have the remnants of that still here. I don't know, but yeah,
It was there were some long nights. There were nights I think we were up drinking till 2 a.m. and we all had to be to work at like 7 or 8 the next morning. But we're gonna bring those back. So stay tuned for an announcement on both of our pages, on the
yep,
back page and on the Voice of Cornhole page. We're going to we'll put some stuff up there where we're going to just open it up, and it will be free 99.
yes, yep. No charge. Just you just get to talk to us for free. So and then it's just come on. It'll be on Sunday night, so talk about your weekend cornhole, kind of whatever or what you have going on. But just come on and talk with other cornhole people, and sometimes talk about non cornhole stuff too.
Listen, it's about everything because this community, which is family, is all just about what's going on, right? What's happening. What's going on in people's lives, what do they want to talk about? And I think it would be, just a fun thing for everybody to kind of get together when you can't get together.
Exactly, and we talk about different. You guys had some charity stuff going on. You guys were putting that out there, and I think that was great for that there to kind of get that word out for people just in the area. But now to get people kind of nationally involved or internationally, whatever you want to say, just I think that'd be great.
Yeah, because this month I do have October. I do have a charity tournament coming up. I will be playing in one of the gentlemen up here from the McReekins. He does a Thanksgiving fundraiser every year where he collects a lot of stuff for the homeless, socks and toiletries and stuff like that. So I will be playing with his brother Kevin, who will be Team Bloodlines from the WWE. We'll be playing in that tournament together to raise some funds for to support some of the homeless in the area, especially where we both live, Doug. It gets a little cold,
Yes,
so they need a little more supplies and other stuff like that. It's not like we're in a tropical climate all year round. It gets down really cold. So really, doing stuff to kind of help that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I believe that for me is on the 22nd, but we'll put some more stuff out there so everybody can see.
and then speaking with charity and homeless stuff, I got give a big thing that we're thinking of everyone with the Nova Scotia Cornhole Association, Cornhole Newfoundland. Hurricane Fiona went through there last weekend and just devastated a bunch. Um, Hardest hit areas were Cape Breton and Nova Scotia, where all my family is. Everyone there is all safe. We're all good. Got hit bad in Newfoundland as well too. If you go to Cornhole Newfoundland, Amber Rogers, I know her thing she's doing. It's just a 50-50, but it is for her grandmother because her grandmother place totally destroyed. So they're doing a thing for that there. And then maybe I'm going to possibly try and hook up something in the very near future here to help with maybe having some money to help some of those people kind of get back on their feet.
And that's amazing. I mean, because there's a lot of stuff going on right there. I know, like even Florida right now is bracing for
Yeah.
some hurricanes to hit down there, and that usually will disrupt almost the entire East Coast with everything from Florida up through the Carolinas and sometimes Georgia, depending on which way it kind of goes through the Gulf Coast. So, hit us up, people, if there's anything you want us to kind of help promote too from a charity aspect this
Well,
year.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. If it's a charity thing, you want me to talk about it on here, I've got no problem. I know Donnie's got no problem, but yeah, it's, We've been 3 years of this year. We're not gonna stop. We're gonna keep going, and you've seen a lot more stuff from collaborations from Donny and I coming up here very, very soon.
Stay tuned, kids. It's going to be fun.
Exactly, and I've got a couple of people I got to talk about. JC Cornhole, wearing the hat. Jamie Cowan, talk to him if you need any boards up here in Canada. Jamie puts out some great boards. Still no discount code yet, Jamie. It's 3 years. You were the first. You were the first guest on the show. Still nothing. That, and then if you are in Alberta, check out Sierra Home Inspections. Talk to Darren, let him know that you've seen it here, and let him know that you give him a like and then make a comment on his Facebook page. And I know he started to put out videos now. He's going to come on the show at some point soon. We keep talking about it to say where the best place is to store your boards in your house when you're under about 8 feet of snow in Alberta or anywhere else in Canada. But yeah, that's what I got for now. I know you're wearing your hat. You got the flag behind you.
I got the hat, I got the flag, I got the hoodie. West Georgia Cornhole has taken care of me for the last couple of years. Titan bags, amazing products, because the X factor in your game should be their boards. And then the greatest software in the whole wide world, Scoreholio. Because if you're not playing or running your tournaments on Scoreholio, your game is pointless.
Could be. Mine's getting not there anymore. I'm actually starting to play again, so it's not bad. So if you want to check me out any other times during the week, check out on YouTube here, NAS Canucks. Donnie's actually got to see me on that day where I talk very openly about my hatred towards Hendrick Motorsports. So if you are a NASCAR fan as well and you like Hendrick Motorsports, you can mute those there. But other than that, all I got to say is see you, Marcus.